Welcome in to a Reaction Monday of Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. I'm Chris Yow, Wade Neely, alongside for the ride. It's going to be a great Monday. Cannot wait for this. We got a little Hey Chico, Razor Ramon in the house. What that is a beautiful shirt. We may have
vintage, baby.
Yeah, that is fantastic with the Scott Hall Razor Ramon shirt here on Main Street Sports today. Coming to you from the Lee Company studio with a great show lined up. We've got Pete Weber, radio voice of the Nashville Predators, set to join us. He's already been on and chatted with us a little bit off the camera. That was nice of them to make sure that everything's working. Apparently they do have Wi-Fi up in Calgary. I was wondering if they were still on dial-up, but apparently they have.
Good to know. They
have upgraded from what I understand. So that's fantastic news. And we'll talk with Charles Pulliam. Haven't had Charles on since we had him, I guess, live recently. So get a chance to talk to Charles about the Williamson County Schools and a special event that they've got coming up. It's going to be a fantastic show. We've got a lot to get to, including the Masters. Tonight, the WNBA draft happening, and Jordan Horston is a projected top 5 pick. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll also react to everything that happened over the weekend. Baseball, soccer, basketball, hockey, and much, much more. Also golf. Don't forget about that. So stick around with us. It's going to be a good one. Wade, how are you?
Man, good to be with you guys on a Monday. And, yeah, what a wild, kind of rainy, yucky weekend. But now the sun is shining. It is out. And after hopefully everybody had a good Easter holiday, we're back in business on a Monday afternoon here. Good to see you.
That's right. Easter was fantastic. 15 eggs we hid, 15 eggs we found. So that's always good. There's luckily you just mentioned your grass cutting guys out there. Hopefully he won't find any that you missed.
Yeah, when you can end the hunt with all accounted for, that's always a good thing. You don't want to find those a month or two after the fact.
No, it's definitely not ideal. All right. Well, we've got a lot to get to, so let's hop right into the weekend's results. We'll get you today's schedule on the rundown.
This is the rundown.
Monday Rundown is brought to you by Zion Christian Academy. ZCA offers a faith-based, Christ-centered education in Murray County. Give them a call today at 931-388-5831 or visit zioneagles.org to schedule your appointment today. Zion Christian Academy, prepared for college, equipped for purpose.
All right, folks, buckle up. Baseball results over the weekend. We begin on Friday. A lot to get into. Clarksville 6, Bartlett 0, Clarksville Academy 10, Logan County, Kentucky 0. Clarksville Academy will go on to shut out Tees Valley, Ohio. That score was 9-0. Logan County, Kentucky does defeat Clarksville Northeast 7-0. Bloom Carroll, Ohio 9, Dixon County 6. Friendship Christian 11, Portland 0. Friendship Christian also followed up with a win versus Pacific Missouri 12-9. Lyon County, Kentucky 2, Gallatin 1. Ezell Harding, wow, putting up the runs 27-7 and 12-0 versus Glencliff. Big wins for Ezell Harding over the weekend. Hendersonville also wins a pair, first versus Portland 10-5 and then 5-2 versus Pacific Missouri. Lausanne knocks off Harpeth 7-1. It was Mount Juliet 11, Bartlett 5, Rockvale 8, Riverdale 3. Good matchup there. Rossview 7 over Houston 7-3. That count. Rossview also putting up 21, 3 touchdowns for Rossview versus Christian County, Kentucky, 21-4. Your final there. Sycamore 8-7 over White House Christian Community 8, Westmoreland 4, and your final Friday result, it was Harpeth 10 and White Station 8. Flipping it over now into Saturday, Siegel with a nice inner Rutherford County matchup victory, 4-0 versus Blackman. Stewart's Creek knocks off Centennial 3-0. Clarksville 11, Houston 1. Clarksville follows up with a 5-4 win versus Mount Juliet. Clarksville Academy knocks off McCracken County of Kentucky. Love that name there, 4-2. Clarksville Northeast 5, Riverdale 2. CPA with a nice win versus Innsworth 6-1. Dixon County 4, Gallatin 3. It was a 3-run win for White House Heritage, 12-9 over East Robertson. Harpeth 14, Fayette Academy 12, Friendship Christian 11, White House 0, Grace Christian Franklin 21, Andrian Indiana 4. And your final couple scores here: Hendersonville a winner versus Sycamore 7-3, and Lausanne knocks off Harpeth 3-0.
Oh, there's more.
I'm scrolling down here. You thought I was done, folks. Pacific Missouri versus Liberty Creek 5-4. Lipscomb Academy 8, CPA 1. Dixon County 15, Lyon County, Kentucky 2. Middle Tennessee Christian 10, Hillwood 2. Wilson Central a 1-run victory 7-6 over Oakland. Independence blanks Ravenwood 12-0. Rossview 13, Riverdale 4. Hendersonville with a shutout versus Springfield 11-0. And it was Pacific Missouri 4, White House Heritage 1.
All right, to the small diamond of softball we go. White House 7-1 winners over Beach. Beach also falls to Beaver Creek, Ohio, 3-0. Clarksville with a win, 11-6 over Springfield, and Clarksville Academy gets a 3-1 win over Friendship Christian. Collierville Downs Independence 9-7, and Wilson Central big win over Columbia Academy 4-0. Columbia Academy bounced back with a win over Hazel Green, Alabama, 6-5 your score there. Greenbrier 10 runs Independence 12-2, and Green Hill was an 8-0 winner over Hazel Green of Alabama. It was Portsmouth West, Ohio 15, Hendersonville 8. Joe Burns, couple of runs better than Forest, 9-7. It was Carnes edging Nolensville 2-1, and Oak Hills, Ohio, 9-3 winners over Riverdale. Station Camp with a pair of wins on Friday, 11-0 over Notre Dame and 13-11 over Weir, West Virginia. And yes, we are West Virginia. Wilson Central blanks Summertown 2-0, and Summertown also falls to Green Hill 6-1. Carnes blanked White House 10-0 on Friday. On Saturday, Joe Burns 5-0 over Beach. Summertown edging Brentwood 3-2, and Columbia Academy taking out Todd County Central of Kentucky 10-1. Lady Bulldogs fall to Green Hill again 4-3 this time on Saturday. Forest with 4 wins. I guess that probably took them at least to the championship, if not winning the championship at Brentwood. 7-0 over White House, 7-5 over Wilson Central. That's a big win there. Lady Rockets 8-1 against Joe Burns and 4-3 over Nolensville. It was Green Hill 5. Oh, this is it. Green Hill wins it, defeating Forest in the finals 5-1. There you go. Hendersonville 19, Salem, Ohio 9, Portsmouth, Ohio 12-11 over Station Camp. Lady Bison 11, Columbiana, Ohio 4, and Carnes 2-1 winners over Summertown. In boys soccer action on the pitch Friday, it was Laverne 9, Wilson Central 4, White House 5, Springfield 1.
On to college baseball we go. Missouri 5, Vanderbilt 4. But Vanderbilt would get revenge in the second contest, 5-0 for the Commodores there. Florida and Tennessee splitting a pair, 9-3 the first game for the Gators, 14-2 for the Vols in the second leg there. 15-3, it was Austin Peay over Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State would bounce back with a 9-4 win in the second. A lot of these games limited due to weather, just 2-game series. Southern Illinois
no, they were 3-game series. They just started on Thursday.
Okay, even better. And also, you're not going to play on Sunday due to the
Easter.
holiday there, I guess. Yeah, absolutely. 6-1, Southern Illinois versus Belmont. They go 12 innings to get them in the second game. Same two teams, Southern Illinois 4, Belmont 3, Lipscomb 7, North Alabama 2. And in the second contest, they're 13-2. That game called off in the 8th inning. It was MTSU 2, Western Kentucky 0. Go Blue Raiders. 5-4, Western Kentucky fall into MTSU in that second game. So it was a nice little weekend for the Blue Raiders there.
6-0 for the Blue Raiders over Western Kentucky on the year. So 100 miles of hate boiling in Bowling Green.
You just hate to see Western Kentucky lose like that.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
Brutal.
knocks off Kentucky Wesleyan in their 2 games over the weekend, 4-0 and 3-2. It was Campbellsville knocking off Cumberland 13-7. Good little NAI battle there. 8-6. Cumberland takes the second contest versus Campbellsville, but Cumberland rallies also in the third game to win it 12-1. In a game played here in Pulaski, they celebrated Senior Day as the Firehawks knocked off Freed Hardeman 5-2, but Freed Hardeman got them in the second contest 9-5. And a couple JUCO scores of interest. Ball State 6, Southwest Tennessee State 5. Southwest Tennessee State would go on to take games 2 and 3, 10-9 and 12-5.
College softball action. Baylor downs Tennessee for the second time over the weekend, 8-5. Austin P takes 3 from Bellarmine, shutting them out each time, 2-0, 2-0, and 6-0. Belmont takes 2 from Illinois Chicago, 7-0 and 9-2. Queens and Lipscomb in an absolute pitching fest. 2-1. Queens beat Best Lipscomb in game 1. Lipscomb gets game 2, 2-1. And then Queens in the rubber match takes game 3, 2-0. Heck of a job there by the pitching staffs. Tennessee State falls 2 out of 3 times to SIU Edwardsville, while Trevecca and Tiffin split a pair. Split a pair, not a fair. 2-1. Trevecca falls in game 1, but comes back to the Trojans in game 2, 1-0. Freed Hardeman takes 2 of 3 from Cumberland, 5-0, 2-0, but 6-5 the final in that Sunday finale or Saturday finale. And then Vol State takes a pair from Southwest Tennessee State, 12-3 and 11-9. I'll keep going. Major League Baseball action. Here we go. Padres 5, Braves 4. Padres take game 3 and 4, 4-1 and 10-2 last night on Sunday Night Baseball. The Twins down the Astros in 10 innings, 3-2. And then again on Saturday, 9-6. On Sunday, the Astros do get one of the 3, 5-1. Brewers blank the Cardinals 5-0 before getting blanked 6-0. And the Brewers take game 3, 6-1. In NHL play, the Jets blank the Preds 3-0. Grizzlies in the association clinched the number 2 seed with a 137-114 win over Milwaukee. And then the B teams play for both teams. The Thunder B team, 115. Grizzlies B team, 100.
Good little exhibition maybe yesterday there. Also, I just wanted you to read the Padres Braves scores, but it also pained me to hear the Astros get beat from you there. So tough weekend for the Bravos.
For all of us.
Yeah. Well, I was going to maybe avoid the Astros slander there, but I digress. Let's real quickly move on to your baseball schedule. We begin with games starting at 4 and 4:30 today. Centennial's at Hillsboro. Maplewood is at Hillwood. Glencliff travels to Martin Luther King. Friendship Christian goes to DCA. Providence Christian travels to Franklin Road Academy. It'll be University School of Nashville hosting Middle Tennessee Christian. Webb School will also entertain Grace Christian Franklin. Now we're on to 5 o'clock starts. Good Pasture at Nashville Christian. Richland, big district matchup here for the local Raiders for my team. Taking on Wayne County on the road tonight. Riverside Christian will travel to Zion Christian. Hampshire goes to Collinwood. That game is at 5:30. Now we're into our 6 o'clock window. Fairview traveling to Cheatham County. Davidson Academy at Clarksville Academy. Big matchup is Independence travels to Murray County to take on the Columbia Lions. It is Mount Juliet Christian at Easdale Harding. Clarksville Northeast at Joe Burns. Cane Ridge at Laverne. Summit at Rockvale. Culleoka will travel to Santa Fe at 6 o'clock. Lewis County will take on Mount Pleasant on the road. Page visits Tullahoma. Big matchup there for the Patriots on the road. Smith County versus Westmoreland. Columbia Academy will hit the road as well to take on BGA. These games are starting at 6:30. You also have John Overton at Brentwood. Trousdale County will travel to East Robertson. Game I'll be at tonight, Mr. Yow. Summertown will come to Sam Davis Park to take on the Giles County Bobcats. Big undefeated showdown in District 10 AA there. Murfreesboro Central Magnet will travel to Hume Fogg. Spring Hill will visit Lawrence County. Harpeth travels to McGavock. Ravenwood is at Nolensville. Sycamore will go to White House Heritage. These are all now 7 or 7:15 starts. Montgomery Central is at Creekwood. Kenwood visits Dixon County. White House is at Greenbrier. Lebanon goes to Mount Juliet. Liberty Creek will travel over to Portland. Stewart's Creek will go to Smyrna. And it's my team again, McCracken, Kentucky. They will host Rossview. Again, that's the 7:15 start tonight.
I love McCracken County. Softball action this afternoon. Columbia Academy is down in Summertown to take on the Lady Eagles. They'll also take on Collinwood following that game with Summertown. At 4:30, Centennials at John Overton, Murfreesboro Central Magnets at Maplewood, and Davidson Academy hosting Clarksville Academy, while DCA's at Mount Juliet Christian. At 5 tonight's Good Pasture at Ezo Harding, and Westmoreland at Friendship Christian. Lebanon's over at Gallatin, and McGavock hosts Laverne. Greenbrier takes on Montgomery Central on the road, and then Liberty Creek will be at Portland. Tullahoma is at Spring Hill. At 5:30, Culleoka welcomes county rival Mount Pleasant, while Maplewood's at Murfreesboro Central Magnet. Lawrence County's at Page. Springfield plays host to White House Heritage. Columbia Central is at Richland tonight at 6 o'clock. Wilson Central's at Stewart Creek at 6:30. Also at 6:30, Loretto at Zion Christian, and Collinwood takes on Summertown at 7:30.
Over in boys soccer, Loretto and Fayetteville will get it on at 5:30 the game. 5:30 today. That game is being played over in Lincoln County. Speaking of Lincoln County, the Bobcats of Giles County will travel to Lincoln County. That's kickoff is scheduled for 6 p.m. Culleoka travels to McEwen also at 6, and a couple of 7 p.m. kickoffs tonight on a Monday. Greenbrier will travel to Merrill Hyde, and Brentwood and Page will tangle. Should be a good showdown.
Loretto should just pick up Giles County on the way.
Yeah, they could just travel over there and just play just side by side on each field right there.
Yeah.
That's
interesting.
Maybe a little logistical work to be had there between the two schools. A couple of quick updates. Third game of that UT Southern Series versus Freed Hardeman gets underway at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and they will play not 1, not 2, but 3 games on the softball diamond this afternoon over at Royce Hughes Softball Field on the campus of UT Southern. They host Lindsey Wilson after all the games were postponed over the weekend. Again, 12, 2, and 4 your start times there. Columbia State will travel to Cleveland State. Their doubleheader begins at 2 p.m. And in the Bigs, it'll be the Astros at the Pirates at 5:30 p.m. Red Sox travel to Hotlanta for a 6:20 start. Cardinals will visit the Rockies. That's set for 7:40 p.m. And your late game tonight, the Nashville Sounds funneling into the Milwaukee Brewers. They visit the Diamondbacks at 8:40. And on the ice for the final time, the Preds visit the Flames at 8:30.
That's going to do it for the rundown. All right. Top story time. And I know you're excited about talking about this as we go to Augusta, where another green jacket was handed out, this time to Spaniard John Rahm. How surprised are you to see John Rahm put the green jacket on, Wade?
First off, what a crazy weekend it was with the weather. Obviously, we got all the same weather that they got over there in Augusta. And Rahm's a guy that seems like in golf you see it. These guys that kind of continue to ascend the ladder, and they're just maybe missing that one piece of the puzzle to really kind of cement their legacy. And it was exciting, and it was fun to see him don the green jacket. But I had a little rooting interest, wink, wink, for Brooks Koepka over the weekend. And when Koepka got paused in that third round, it seemed like his just momentum got zapped. And on Sunday, between the end of the third round Sunday morning and then coming back for the fourth round, he really kind of tanked, unfortunately, for the Koepka fans out there. But great to see Rahm. And then you had Phil Mickelson shooting a Cardinal, a 65 out there yesterday. The old man, the old lefty, getting it done. So all in all, pretty good Masters weekend. Very unusual weekend, to say the least, though, with the weather being as it was down there in Augusta.
So I saw this come up, and we talked about this with what's his name? The golf guy, Virgil Herring, last week when you were on the show with us with Mo and I. We talked about Live versus PGA, and he said it was just an overhyped talking point. But how much of an impact do you think it made, considering that Brooks Koepka for the last year has been playing 54-hole tournaments, and this was not 54 holes? Do you think the stamina was an issue here?
Me personally, I don't necessarily think so, but man, the evidence kind of certainly would give you a compelling argument to make that lack of extra roundage there would hurt Brooks the way it did. And woof, you could just not have envisioned a worse Sunday for a guy that was just playing with so much confidence, so much swagger going in to Sunday. And I didn't really notice it on his body language Saturday when they called it off, but I feel like when they called it off on Saturday, just seemed like that gave Rahm that little extra boost. He kind of was wobbling to the bell at the end of a round, so to speak. And then on Sunday, he was able to make his charge, I felt like.
Well, and not just that, but obviously having to play behind a really slow group will certainly hurt any momentum you have, because you're just having to sit there and wait. And, Koepka made no excuses. He answered a question about pace of play and said, obviously, that he was kind of held up by the pace of the group ahead of him. And to me, I mean, that felt intentional. Maybe I'm wrong, but it felt intentional.
Yeah. And like we said, this will certainly give a little more fuel to the fire if you're talking about the Live Tour versus the PGA. And especially with Lefty creeping up there, man, just turning back the hourglass, so to speak, having a fantastic Sunday. And, if Rahm didn't put that thing to bed, if he had shanked a shot or two toward the end, Mickelson's in the clubhouse, then we could be looking at a potential playoff. But kudos to Rahm. Kind of been a big fan of his for the last couple of years. And he's, again, just one of those guys that seems like he has everything all there put together. He's just kind of sewing up the few loose ends there, and it was great to see him don that green jacket yesterday afternoon.
Did y'all see in his speech after he won, he was talking about how Zach Ertz texted him before he got on his first tee and was like, "Hey, the first green looked just great." And he double bogeyed the first hole. He was like, "Hey, Zach, never do that again."
Yeah, he gets the text and thinking, man, what a great confidence boost. I'm so pumped to hear from my buddy. And then whoops, goes out and double bogeys. And yeah, I mean, think about that. You go out your first hole of the whole tournament, and you toss a double bogey up, and you're thinking, I mean, there's lesser golfers would have let that really get to them, but kudos for Rahm for kind of putting that in his rearview mirror and kind of able to move and just slowly chip up. And he never really did anything flashy or super till he needed to on the final day when it really mattered most, obviously. So just very systematic in his approach and a good win over the weekend.
All right, I'm going to ask you the question that we all want to know the answer to, and I just want your opinion here. Was Tiger making the cut predetermined, considering what had to happen to get him there?
Did
he miss the putt on purpose?
I personally don't think so, but man, it looked a little suspicious. I'll just say that much. I mean,
him being in pain or what?
In terms of making the cut there at the end when who's it? Justin Thomas, right?
Thomas,
who's his boyhood idol. Tiger Woods. He can help. It's like, could you draw up a more movie plot-esque situation? If he makes the putt, he kind of stabs Tiger in the back, so to speak. If he misses the putt, he gets to keep his buddy around for the weekend, his idol for the weekend.
Gotcha.
And it was a little suspicious. I'm just gonna for the integrity of the game. For the integrity of the game, I would just like to think and hope that he just missed that one flat out. Right.
Well, if you've seen that Netflix thing with Justin Thomas involved with Jordan Spieth, that dude wants to win. He's not missing any putts on purpose.
That's probably true.
Things that make you go, though. And obviously it was unfortunate that Tiger, withdraws, although I think a lot of people saw that kind of coming. It's nasty. It's rainy. You're at the end of the leaderboard. Not a whole lot going on. Might as well just pack it up. It was unfortunate, though, to see him pack it in. No Sunday red for Tiger.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's unfortunate just because, obviously his physical ability is just not there. And that's what hurts to watch, no question. But it was a great weekend. Like I said, a fantastic weekend for the Masters. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it's a little prep football as Charles Pulliam of the Williamson Herald joins us to talk about an event that Williamson County announced last week. So looking forward to talking with him right after this on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Stick around. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handler supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
Attention Tennessee homeowners, we want to buy your house. Hi, we are Real Property Solutions, a local real estate investing group. We pay cash for all types of property, so you walk away with more money in your pocket because we eliminate any fees, closing costs, and commissions. Now the best part, we can buy your house as is, meaning you don't have to do a thing to your property. You get to take what you want, leave what you don't, and don't even worry about cleaning. We close on your timeline, whether that's 7 days or 70 days. Interested in selling? Just give us a call and we'll come out to your property and quote you a cash offer within 24 hours. Please call 615-527-8750. That's 615-527-8750.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Hey, welcome back into Reaction Monday on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We're in the Lee Company studio and glad to be with you. Looking forward to our next guest because we haven't had him on in just a few minutes, and we always enjoy our time with Williamson Herald's Charles Pulliam, and he's going to join us today on the Real Property Solutions hotline. Real Property Solutions can close on your timeline 7 days or 70. They don't care. They'll buy your home as is. That's right. Take what you want, leave what you don't. Give them a call, 615-527-8750. 615-527-8750. Real Property Solutions. Right now, Charles Pulliam joins us. Charles, what's up, man?
How we doing, guys? Well, you know, getting ready for a busy week. Let's put it that way.
Me too. It's rough when Mo's not here.
Yeah,
I have to
gotta
do
do all
a
the
lot of
things,
work. I have to
right?
actually
Jeez.
work.
Is he actually always sending you like photos of, his toes in the sand or something like that, or having a drink or something?
So he joined us via his cell phone on Friday, sitting on the beach. But that's the last photo or video I've gotten
Okay.
from him. So he hasn't, you know, really rubbed it in so much just yet, but he's still got like 6 days to go. So
Well, I think of 2 years ago, I think I was able to dial in while working on the water in Alaska. And here
yeah,
he's doing the little stuff of like, hey, I could make a phone call from the beach. It's nice
yeah.
to know he's working so hard.
No doubt. No doubt. Well, Charles, we appreciate you taking time with us as always. Looking forward to talking about this because I wasn't able to make the Zoom announcement,
Mhm.
and but it seems like there's a lot of great stuff coming out of Williamson County, but particularly a new event announced by the county called the Workout, which is, I guess, like a pro day style event where Williamson County football players can work out in front of college coaches and perhaps extend their playing careers a little bit. This is a great idea. What were your initial thoughts and reactions to it?
Well, I remember having a brief conversation with Coach Darren Joins, the athletic director for Williamson County Schools, maybe 3 years ago. I think this is when it originally was kind of taken or getting some traction anyway, and I think you're doing everything but calling it a combine. That's why they're calling it a workout, because there's some stipulations there. But this is TSSAA approved, NCAA, guided them along the way to make sure you check all the boxes here. But we're going to have FBS, FCS, Division II, Division III, NAIA, you name it. All those coaches are invited to watch some kids compete and work out. All 9 Williamson County schools are involved. Coaches are going to get to bring about 10 kids this first year. Yeah, we're probably going to have some of those seniors in there, but in the future, this is kind of set up and steered to those, sophomores, juniors, and it's just going to be a great opportunity for these kids to come out, compete against their peers, provide some measurables, do some basic workouts, and get noticed. I mean, it's one of a kind. It's going to be the first of its kind really in the area too. So when you think about that, that's a Williamson County school initiative. They like kind of being a driving force into some things that you can do. Think of girls flag football, things like that. I mean, this is pretty exciting. I know Darren Joins is super pumped about it, and talking to some coaches, they are too. This is a great opportunity for the kids.
Charles, it seems like this will be, like you said, a great opportunity for the kids. And that's one thing that it gets lost in all of the what seems like hoopla around Williamson County sports with game day and all of these other things. But everything that the county is doing really is about promoting their students and student athletes.
That's a good way to put it. There's a lot of things happening, a lot of different initiatives, and it all started with Jeremy Qualls when he came in and kind of set a new precedent of standards that you could do in Williamson County schools. He's taken just about everything you see on ESPN and found a way to incorporate it in there. You think of the student-led media programs, the outside the lines, things like that. The game days, the media days, all these different things have kind of been pointing into this direction too, where now you get colleges involved to come in and see, top recruits. And the biggest thing is, a good example is talking with Page football coach Charles Rathbone. The Page boys made it to the Class 5A championship game in back-to-back years, got some standout studs on that team. So obviously a guy like a Ronan O'Connell, this is another stage, but the big thing is, having the guys that we might not know about, a couple of those great wide receivers they have, other linemen, other young guys coming in. That's the stage for this. So each of these 9 schools are going to get to bring about 10 kids and just get to compete. It's going to be neat to see. I'm pretty excited to see what it comes of. April 29th, Centennial High School, 9 to 12. It's a free event. It's going to be neat to see what comes out of year 1 for it.
Yeah, Charles, and when I first heard about this event and obviously heard you were going to be joining us today, I was pretty excited because this is, such a unique and kind of groundbreaking thing that yet again, Williamson County seems like they're leading the charge. And I guess my immediate question, I'm down here in Pulaski in the southern end of the state in Giles County, And we've produced some really good football players over the years who maybe not have gotten that extra level of look. An event like this certainly speaks to me. I guess my question immediately is, what is this going to do for the landscape of the rest of the state? And how quickly, if at all, are we going to try and see some other regions or counties try and maybe implement something like this?
Well, I'd assume it's going to kind of light the fire under a lot of coaches and a lot of kids and a lot of parents, you name it, everyone. And that's something that I think Williamson County Schools taking the lead in a lot of these things is kind of like, hey, so we're going to figure it out. We'll try it out. And, you know, anyone can reach out to someone like a Darren Joins, a Jeremy Qualls, and, you know, pick their brain about what happened, how they did it, what kind of hurdles they went through, because obviously there's a lot that goes into this to be able to invite FBS schools to a workout style setup. I mean, that's an attractive thing on a recruiting side. And that's the exciting thing that I'm trying to figure out on that side. I want to talk to someone who's actually in line with that on what an event like this actually does, to be able to go to talk to kids. You know, obviously this is being used. I think one of the spring practice days is being set aside just for this within the county, but there's just like a lot of little, you know, stuff you kind of got to work around to get to this point. But I think this is going to push a lot of the other areas within the state to kind of be like, hey, well, we want to do this too. And that's where someone like a Darren Joins, it's not like it's all for Williamson County. He's going to be there to help along. I think, you know, any advice you have, that's a guy who's going to be willing to kind of help push it, because I think everybody's going to want something like this now.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. And I guess my other immediate thought was kind of like you just touched on. I can envision the compliance officers at the colleges just waiting with bated breath right now, just really trying to make sure that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, because it is potentially a little bit of a slippery slope. But I'm with you. I think this could be a tremendous benefit, especially for those kind of diamonds in the rough. And I mean, just how many times have we seen kids over the years, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, they come in either unranked or a very low star prospect, and then by the end of their senior year, that, you know, they're a fringe NFL or NBA prospect. I mean, it just seems like some of these kids just continue to go overlooked, and this seems like it could funnel right into that.
Oh, definitely. And you know, you might be going to sticking with Paige, you might be going to check out a Ronan O'Connell or something like that, but you're going to end up seeing, you know, a young Jake Rathbone, or, you know, an Eric Hazard who's making more noise, guys like that are just going to be able to step in. It's really pretty exciting to see. And, you know, like you said about the you know, the T's and dotting the I's, things like that. This is something that if it wasn't for COVID, we probably would have been able to do this 3 years ago. And that's how close it was, talking with Coach Joins about this. And, you know, everything was kind of lined up, but then it just had to take a back seat for a while here. So, you know, they've worked with it. You know, he's been working with the NCAA on making sure everything's where it needs to be. TSSAA was right there with them too. So it's just, it's exciting that all that groundwork was kind of put through, and for these kids to be able to go out, have some measurables, do some training, you know, take part in some drills, and have colleges there to watch, have everybody else doing it amongst your peers too. You know, you're not paying for this as well. It's just the way it's supposed to be, I think. And you're going to want every district to kind of follow suit and find a way to do it as well. But it's neat to know that Williamson County gets to lead the way again.
Yeah. And I guess just one quick question also, who in your mind is somebody that you could envision, maybe that's either under the radar or somebody that's already on a lot of radars, just really running wild with this thing in terms of their performance that day?
Oh man. Well, that's there's so many to really go on. That's the thing too. I think even going back in time, you know, think of maybe a Summit football or something like that, where you all paid attention to the Wade twins, and nobody really got into a Brady Pierce. This is the perfect stage for a Brady Pierce. This is a perfect stage for any of those linemen that you know, kind of led the way for that Summit team. This is where that gets exciting. You know, you're going to have those players, those 5 through 10 that get to come are just going to be some kind of special, because this is a stage where they get to not only talk and interact and be around, they get to perform in front of these coaches. So, you know, I haven't been to very many combine like events, but I'm excited just to kind of see it up close and personal and being a part of it as well too, and see how these kids respond, see how these coaches respond, talking to guys like, you know, a Will Hester and a Rathbone and Brian Coleman at Summit. You know, I think the excitement level's there. It's just a matter of maybe getting this first one through and really kind of picking apart, like, well, what can we do to get it better? And that's, as everybody has said, this is just going to be something that's going to grow. It's going to get more and more exciting to be around, and it's an incredible opportunity. That's what it really comes down to.
Now, as far as college coaches are concerned, I mean, has Darren reached out and confirmed anybody? Are there at least some who are for sure going to be there? I got a feeling I know one guy who's going to be there, but that's Mike Jasper's probably going to find his way out there from Bethel, and probably a couple others. But has there been any any college coaches who we know of that are going to be there?
Well, I think this is one of those two where you don't really broadcast it that much, but in conversations with say adjoins, there's some definite guys we're gonna recognize. Let's put it that way. And without putting them on the spot about being in a place like this, I think that's what it comes down to. And come that morning on the 29th, you'll just see some decorated sidelines.
It's going to be like The Blind Side, right? Where
Yeah.
everybody's just, kind of huddled up around Orr, and then
Yep.
Fulmer walks in. That'll be really cool, though. I think it's going to be an exciting event. Now, this is for upcoming seniors and juniors, or just seniors?
Well, it's going. So I think this year they're kind of making that adjustment to have some of those seniors involved too, but mainly rising sophomores, mainly rising juniors and stuff too. So I mean, you think about the class line that we're going to have there, and it's neat to see that, because we just got a load of athletes around here that get to kind of use this. And talking with the coach Rathbone, obviously a guy like Ronan O'Connell has been doing so well on his own, and drawing in all this interest here, but this would have been an event that kind of would have helped launch him into that stratosphere as a young sophomore, probably a rising sophomore coming in, because he would have been able to take part in this. So it just, we get to maybe see some kids that we don't really know coming into the season, and then maybe confirm some athleticism, obviously, too. So it's just the opportunity is one of a kind for sure.
Well, this is exciting. And Charles Pulliam of the Williamson Herald joining us here on the Real Property Solutions Hotline. Looking forward to it. I'm interested to see how it plays out, because I do think the fact that the NCAA kind of guided them along, and this is a TSSAA approved event. I love that, the organizations that we kind of always talk about aren't looking out for the kids at all times, are certainly finding ways to look out for the kids. I mean, sometimes these folks, the TSSAA, and sometimes even the NCAA, not very often in their case, but more so the TSSAA gets a little bit more hate than maybe it should. And this is just another opportunity for these organizations to show that they really are about the student athlete. So.
Oh, definitely. And, a big focus of this too is really just making it special for these kids to get to be a part of this too. Talking with a Tate Matthews, who does so much with Matthews Team Sports here locally, he's going to provide the compression gear that all these kids are going to get to wear during it for the participants. I mean, it's a big deal. These kids are going to feel special, and they're going to have a platform that they wouldn't have had without it. So that's really the important thing, is getting to see the potential for that. So yeah, Centennial High School, April 29th, 9 a.m. It's going to be a fun morning.
Charles Pulliam again on the Real Property Solutions Hotline of the Williamson Herald. Follow him at CS Pulliam on Twitter and Instagram. His Instagram is even better than his Twitter. You should just follow him for the landscapes. Trust me. But we appreciate you taking some time with us as always, man. It's a pleasure, and looking forward to talking to you again soon and seeing you out and about this spring for spring sports.
Oh yeah, it's busy. I'm going to check out some soccer tonight. I got I think my first ever true defending state champion versus defending state champion, Brentwood at Page tonight. Beautiful soccer match, beautiful soccer weather. Williamson County championships for track and field are going on at Nolensville. Man, you name it. There's a lot happening. It's going to be a busy week.
Well, enjoy. I know you always do. And Charles Pulliam from the Williamson Herald. Charles, we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Charles.
See ya.
All right. That was Charles Pulliam on the Real Property Solutions Hotline. Again, 615-527-8750 is the number. They'll buy your house as is. Just give them a call, 615-527-8750. They'll close on your timeline, whether it's 7 days or 70. Take what you want, leave what you don't. Who was it that said that's what they told Jeremy Pruitt when he left Tennessee. just leave. Take what you want, leave what you don't, just leave. Oh man. Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll react to the rest of the weekend. PREDS, GRIZZ, Nashville Soccer Club, and the WNBA draft is tonight. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. So stick around here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll be right back to the Lee Company studio after this.
Walmart Supply Chain is hiring in Lebanon. Earn up to $22.25 an hour when you join our new fulfillment center. Enjoy competitive pay and premium perks, including 100% paid college tuition, 401k match, flexible schedules, a free Walmart Plus membership that includes discounts, and free Paramount Plus, paid time off, and so much more. Fulfilling work starts right here. Text JOIN to 240-240. That's JOIN 240-240 to apply now.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think about calling for a ride. Nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that can happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor-trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor-trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor-trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
This is Chris Yow with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee Sports Editor, three-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
The other guy in Wham married the best looking girl, Bananarama, so the other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice. Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint to the Lee Company studio. We return. Time to react to the weekend that was. And Wade, obviously, we're going to talk to Pete Weber here in just a moment, but the Preds losing to Winnipeg, just a gut-wrenching loss considering how well the Predators had been playing and with all the momentum that was kind of going into that game, and Winnipeg just never even let Nashville feel like they had a chance offensively, and obviously UC Soros did a heck of a job keeping his team in it, but tough loss and kind of puts that final nail in the coffin just about, doesn't it?
Yeah, just kind of. I wasn't able to watch any action over the weekend, but I was kind of keeping up with the score, and just every time I seemingly picked up my phone, the news just got worse and worse. And you're keeping up with it on Twitter, and it doesn't sound great. And instead of that scenario like when we left on Friday, you said where they could potentially be in the playoff spot for a few hours. And I think Calgary ended up losing the other night too, right, to Vancouver. So kind of rubs a little extra salt in the wound. It was all around. It was unfortunately one of those bad weekends that got worse as it went on for the Preds.
Yeah, that's all right though. They do have a chance to continue to put a nice little bow on this season, and so we'll talk again in just a moment about that. Memphis Grizzlies, on the other hand, secured the number 2 spot with a pretty convincing win over Milwaukee on Friday night. I didn't exactly see that one coming, but also not sure if Milwaukee was really too worried about that game. I don't know.
Yeah, so. I mean, 137 on a Friday night will certainly turn a few heads versus one of the best teams, if not maybe the front runner for the championship in Milwaukee. And the Grizzlies, they lock up the 2 seed. And yesterday was just so bizarre. Talk about kind of end of the season and just kind of how things have panned out. That timeline where everybody's kind of playing and you're not sure who's trying to tank potentially, who's trying to win, and just things kind of just whirling and swirling all weekend long. It was hard for me to keep up with where everybody was trying to land. I couldn't tell if some team was trying to make the playoffs. Dallas had to make a weird decision. Do we want to sneak in at the very last spot potentially, or do we want to just try and improve our lottery chances as best we could? So very, very wild weekend. But like you said in the rundown, the Grizz B team got the cavalry rallied over the weekend. Kenny Lofton Jr. goes for what, 42 points and a double-double. His previous career high was 11. He had 11 career high points before he drops a 42 burger yesterday.
And that's they really need him to be big, obviously, literally big over the next, especially against either the Timberwolves or the Lakers, whomever that may be. They've got to find somebody that can step into Steven Adams' role and play it, and he's the best opportunity that they have. Now, obviously, pretty much everyone else was out in that game. I think they only played 6 players, which is impressive to say the least. Vince Williams Jr. played all 48.
Wow.
Talk
about getting your money's worth. That's a lot of run right there. That's
run. He also shot 14 3-pointers, made just 1.
That will hinder your chances going forward. Yikes.
That's big yikes right there.
1 for 14. That sounds like me in some pickup games over the years.
And here's the thing. 15 points the difference in the game. Oklahoma City made 12 3-pointers. Memphis made 7. I don't know if you can do the quick math, but that's 15 points.
Interesting. Interesting how that turns out. And it was fun. And the Friday night game obviously was kind of the nice highlight for the weekend for the Grizz. Yesterday was such an odd day with so many teams, kind of their rosters in flux. And now we get ready. Like you said, it's either going to be the Wolves or the Lakers. Game 1 will be Sunday down in Memphis.
Now, the Thunder actually made the play-in. This is a team that tanked last year, got the number 1 overall pick, and then, oh, by the way, he got hurt, Chet Holmgren, and hasn't played at all. So what a job by this Thunder staff to go from a team that didn't think that they were going to be anywhere competitive at all, sitting at 40 and 42 with the chance to play their way into the NBA playoffs. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, Thunder, they kind of biding their time. And like you mentioned, it feels like ages ago. I mean, I guess it technically was that Holmgren goes out, and at that time, you're basically all but writing the death certificate for the Thunder and their chances this season. They just kind of continued to weather the storm, playing some pretty good basketball at times throughout the season. And here we find themselves. This, I have a feeling, kind of like we touched on a couple weeks ago with college basketball. I feel like this NBA playoff season is just going to be bonkers. Milwaukee's obviously probably your odds-on favorite in the front. Who knows what Denver's going to do without Steven Adams. It's going to be tough for Memphis to maybe make a true championship run. But I really have no clue what to expect, especially in these first couple of rounds, right?
Well, the biggest concern is the trade deadline kind of threw the biggest wrench in everything. You've got the Suns who are now kind of, feeling like front runners. You've got the Lakers who are playing really, really well right now. You just have so many questions, especially in the West. Now the East is the East.
A little more cut and dry.
It's pretty well cut and dry. You know who the two favorites are, and you'll see, which of those comes out of it. But in the Western Conference, because so many teams made moves at the deadline, you're just not sure exactly who is going to step up. It's essentially one of those situations where it's going to be who plays the best, because there isn't a favorite. Like you said, it's going to be bonkers in the Western Conference. I wouldn't be surprised to see 4, 5, 6 seeds in the finals.
Yep, I think we're in store for a fantastic. And in terms of seeding, you're right. I think we're due for a little parity coming up. But even though those seeds are kind of, misguided in terms of what the talent is on some of the rosters, and Memphis versus Minnesota could be a fun little rematch, from last year. And then you got the Lakers, which obviously will draw a lot of attention and a lot of national media coverage for Memphis, who slowly kind of started to build their reputation nationally. So I'm personally pumped. I'm trying to find out what time maybe they're going to tip off on Sunday. I'm going to try and jet on down to Memphis for hopefully 1 or 2 games in the opening round or two, because just the Steven Adams injury, unfortunately, just kind of continues to haunt them, because they were just playing so well. And obviously we've seen them play well without some of their star players over the years, especially last year with Morant going down for some games. But just kind of get the vibe that without Adams, it's going to be tough for them to make a true run this year. But who knows? They're a scrappy team as usual.
You never know. Memphis certainly plays a little bit different style of basketball than anybody else in the West. They're just they are scrappy. They are, hard hat, lunch pail type guys, and you never know what to expect. So, look, I'm looking forward to it. I think this is going to be a great NBA playoff season for sure. Nashville fails to score again at Geodis Park. But another draw. So it could be worse.
Yeah. And, I'm watching that over the weekend as well. And I'm sitting there thinking, what did we talk to Valaire, our guest on Friday, about potentially Nashville's got to convert these home matches from draws into wins. Those are just free points left on the table there for NSC, and a goalless draw. I know it was nasty and yucky over the weekend, but that's one of those games that later in the season you're going to look back and say, if we had 2-3 points here and there, we might be in a better position for the playoffs. And you find yourself wondering what went wrong on a April night versus Toronto.
Well, we kind of know what went wrong. Toronto knew exactly how to defend their former teammate, and just based off of what I'm looking at on Twitter throughout the night, they beat him up pretty good. I mean, they were very physical, and I think that may have caught Nashville off guard a little bit, and it certainly, changed the dynamic of the offense. So that's probably where it ends up being the biggest issue, just the physicality there, and Nashville just couldn't get the ball into their, for lack of, and I don't know the soccer terminology, but into their zone, if we're using hockey terminology here.
We'll allow it.
Couldn't get it there and keep it there, and that seems to be an issue with a lot of Nashville teams. Playing in plus territory is not easy to do around here.
Awfully tough to score when you're not in the attacking end of the field.
No,
right?
it is. It's difficult for everybody. But so anyway, real quick before we get out of here, Pete Weber is standing by. I want to talk a little bit about the WNBA draft, which is tonight. Jordan Horston is in New York tonight. She will be among the 15 college amateurs who will be on hand for tonight's draft. She is a projected top 5 pick out of the University of Tennessee. Obviously, she chose to forego her final year with that COVID year of eligibility in order to take on the professional ranks. This should be, the number 1 pick should be pretty well cut and dry. Leah Boston's got to be number 1, right?
It seems like a slam dunk, a mortal lock at this point for her.
Yeah, Indiana Fever has the top overall pick, and you would certainly feel like Leah Boston would give them a leg up, because obviously at the professional level, you're going to have less opportunity to do what college teams did, and that was just pound her, in the paint so much, and a lot of double teams and that sort of thing. Diamond Miller, Jordan Horston is the number 3 on the big board, according to most folks. So I expect to see Horston somewhere near the top, probably going somewhere like Dallas, Washington. Dallas has 2 picks in the top 5. So, that's you got to love that, right?
You can improve in a blink of an eye when you're talking about that kind of draft firepower.
They have 3 picks in the top in the top 12 in the first round. 3 first-round picks do the Dallas Wings have. So they'll be looking to improve drastically tonight. But looking forward to the WNBA draft and where Jordan Horston goes particularly. And also looking forward to tonight's Calgary-Nashville Predators game, because it does have some implications on just ending the season on a positive note. And again, if you win and somehow Winnipeg does something stupid, you never know. You got to beat Calgary, because Calgary is also standing in your way. So we'll talk to Pete Weber on the other side of the break. Back to the Lee Company studio on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
Attention Tennessee homeowners, we want to buy your house. Hi, we are Real Property Solutions, a local real estate investing group. We pay cash for all types of property, so you walk away with more money in your pocket because we eliminate any fees, closing costs, and commissions. Now the best part, we can buy your house as is, meaning you don't have to do a thing to your property. You get to take what you want, leave what you don't, and don't even worry about cleaning. We close on your timeline, whether that's 7 days or 70 days. Interested in selling? Just give us a call and we'll come out to your property and quote you a cash offer within 24 hours. Please call 615-527-8750. That's 615-527-8750.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yow and Wade Needley here in the Lee Company studio, live from southern Middle Tennessee. Wade a little more southern than I am, but that's okay today. Looking forward to, I'm usually the southernmost portion of this show, so it's kind of interesting to be on the north side. Looking forward to this next segment as we go to the Real Property Solutions hotline. Again, you just heard Devin O'Day tell you about them. Real Property Solutions can close on your timeline, whether it's 7 days or 70. Give them a call. They can buy your house as is. 615-527-8750. Take what you want, leave what you don't. Give Real Property Solutions a call. We go now to Pete Weber, the voice of the Nashville Predators, and the namesake of one of my favorite watering holes in all of downtown Nashville, or at least half of it. As if you head into Pete and Terry's sometime, they're at the Sobro entrance of Bridgestone Arena and grab a beverage. I like to get a disc and cider when I am at Pete and Terry's. So, Pete, welcome into the show. Thank you for joining us. It looks very nice up in Calgary.
It is. And so you're talking about southern Middle Tennessee. I am in southern Alberta right now, and it's in the 40s here. So it has been a nice revelation for that. Had we been up in Edmonton, it could still be minus something. So I'm very glad that we are here and that this is an important a game as it's going to turn out to be.
That's correct. Currently, the Flames have a 2-point advantage over Nashville, but a win would certainly give them an opportunity to tie and be potentially just a point out of Winnipeg. Winnipeg has their schedule is no slouch here on out either, because they have both Minnesota and Colorado on the road after a home tilt with San Jose. So you never know. Weirder things have happened.
Yes,
Pete.
I've seen them happen. That most recently, I guess we'd have to say, no one really was giving the Predators a chance in 2017 to even make the playoffs. And what happens then? They end up going to the final. So and they made the playoffs in the last hour of the season in 2017, and then go in and shock Chicago, St. Louis, and take care of Anaheim and move on into the Cup final against Pittsburgh. That didn't turn out as well as those previous 3 series, but nonetheless, you get into the dance and then you take your chances.
That's what I'm going to have to cut that out and just give that to Tennessee basketball fans just consistently, because these guys who want to fire Rick Barnes, they need to hear that. You got to get into the dance to have a chance, and just getting there is half the battle. And some folks don't understand that that's a tough thing to do. It is tough to get into the playoffs, but once you get there, you have an opportunity. And this team, considering all things considered, you have to be impressed with the fact that they've been able to do as much as they have here in this late stretch without Duchesne, without Forsberg, without Yossi, without Johansson. It just seems like anybody who's anybody has been unavailable. And
Right.
John Hines has been able to navigate this team to, a really impressive stretch.
And of a 6 defensemen, 2 have only played, had prior to last week, had only played in the American League, and another had come straight out of college hockey to this cauldron, this real hot seat, and they've acquitted themselves very well. So let's see what happens now as they continue on against a Calgary team tonight that has really been mystifying many of the people watching the NHL, trying to figure out why, after last year, they're having so much difficulty trying to nail down a spot this year.
Pete, got a question on maybe a potential simple question, but I'm looking here at Calgary. Obviously, we're at the tail end of the regular season, and so much gets made about that playoff, just something about when the NHL playoffs begin, how impressive and how awesome those crowds and those environments are. Are we looking at kind of like a true playoff-like atmosphere for these final few stretches in every barn you guys are going into?
I would say that would be no question, really. This is, I mean, in Calgary tonight, and also keep in mind, they only have tonight and one more game left after this. So I think that increases the pressure a little bit on them, to be certain. The Predators would come home with 2 games remaining, and one of those is the makeup from the water main break against Colorado. Okay, it's the defending Cup champions, but right now anyway, and they have, 3 games to go. They have a 2-point edge at the top of the division. But this is this makes it more fun, to me anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't mind having fun.
Well, as these two teams particularly have played a lot of must-win games against each other, Calgary and Nashville. It just feels like that, these two teams late in the year, when they meet, there's something on the line. And the fact that there's something on the line for both of them, because both of them are trying to make the playoffs, it really is going to be an incredible atmosphere, because everyone knows this is a must-win game for both of these franchises. So how does Nashville, approach tonight? Is it just, do they feel like it's, let's just win this thing and go out on a high note, or do they really feel like it's must-win pressure?
I have not seen this team, in my eyes anyway, look like they're feeling any pressure like that. They enjoy the challenge. They know that they're playing for their futures. There are a lot of people here right now on the roster. You mentioned all those injuries. Guys who are trying to really carve out a place for themselves in the National Hockey League and to show that they belong here. And they're doing it to this point in time. Calgary will likely come after them very roughly physically tonight, but that's nothing new for a Darryl Sutter club. They've been doing that here for years, and before that in San Jose. So I would say that they're just enjoying the idea of being in this moment. And I think that's the key to it, in this moment, and trying to win each shift.
Well, to do that, they're going to have to take on a guy who has been almost unstoppable for Calgary. And is it Elias Lindholm?
Elias Lindholm.
Or Elias.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I never know how to pronounce these things. You've got the pronunciation guide in front of you. But so Elias Lindholm has been just fantastic for Calgary as of late. Got 22 goals and 64 points on the year and plays a lot. I mean, this guy plays 20 minutes a game. He's a guy that you feel like you've got to find a way to keep him in check if you want to win.
And there's another guy too, who Darryl Sutter brought here from his cup-winning teams in Los Angeles, and that's Tyler Toffoli. And he leads them with 34 goals to this point and 73 points. So be wary of him as well. But you can't go out thinking you have to be wary of guys as much as you have to take the old line from Herb Brooks from the Miracle on Ice team, play your game.
Well, and the Preds game, and as much as I can watch, I do, but it just feels like this team is playing a lot of defense, and maybe that's because there's there's just so many defensemen on the team. They kind of have to. So is
and
that
a lot of 2-1 games? A lot of 2-1 games.
Right. I mean, you can't say enough about UC Saros. You just can't. There's not enough things you can say about this kid.
I wholeheartedly agree. I think there's a question not just of him being the Vezina front runner for the top goaltender in the league, but because of what he has done for a team that is so challenged offensively, he could make a pretty good case for him as well for the Hart Trophy winner. But there's a guy north of here in Edmonton who probably is going to run away with Connor McDavid. But
yeah,
I mean,
he's got a few points on the
a few, yes. Connor McDavid, man. And now we've got another Connor Derby coming up, was who gets with the first draft choice, and Connor Bedard from the Regina Pats in the Western Canada League. Whoever gets him is going to have reason to throw a very large party.
Well, I'm looking forward tonight again. Puck drop at 8:30 Central Time here, and it's going to be, last year, knocking on all the wood that I've got.
I only have Formica here, so you do it.
We lost UC in this game last year, and that was kind of the beginning of the end for the playoff run that we were all hoping for. But
and getting a first round matchup with the team that would go on to win it all.
Right. And not having him play this much, does it matter over the course of his career, considering how young he relatively is?
So far, I can't say that I've seen signs that it does. And you can understand why a coach wants to go that way. Maybe less so this year because Kevin Lankinen has been so proficient at being the backup goaltender. And he really hasn't caused any drop-off at all in the play between the pipes. So should that happen again, I certainly am praying that it doesn't. But I think there would be much less of a problem for the team.
Well, UC Saros has been everything that we needed him to be over the last 2 years, and we can only hope that that continues because this team is set up for the future, Pete. Certainly, if you just look at the team as it's constructed right now, you add a few of those pieces that obviously are on the injured list back to this team, and they could be serious contenders going forward.
And you know what's incredible to me? All the players that are with the Predators from the Milwaukee Admirals, that pulls people away from Milwaukee. They've had to fill in with guys from the ECHL, and they're still winning. So please tell me what's going on. Huh? There's something good in the water, both in Nashville and in Milwaukee. And in Milwaukee, you might accuse it of being beer, but understand.
It's the yeast in the water over there. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But
Nice
no,
combo.
you're right. It's almost like David Poyle knows what he's doing. And and obviously David got a lot of grief over the last couple of years, and some of it rightfully so, some of it probably like the Rick Barnes hate, not necessarily justified. But you have to be excited about obviously where this team is headed, this organization is headed, and I've been impressed with John Hines with these young kids. And we talked to Willie Donick last week, and he told us that, obviously John's kind of background is in teaching and coaching young kids. And it's shown over these last few weeks how really good he is with these young guys.
Well, that all started out for John when he was in the Penguins organization at their developmental team in Wilkes-Barre. And they did a fantastic job there. And really that resulted in his positive recommendation to David Poyle when David was thinking of making the change from Peter Laviolette, because that recommendation came from the original Predators captain, then who had worked with him with the Penguins, Tom Fitzgerald.
Pete, as we kind of get you out of here, I guess I'm real curious. Let's just boil it down straight into tonight. What must the Preds do well if they want to get this win, this crucial win here this evening?
I'm going to have to say convert their scoring chances because they produced them. And had they converted one earlier in that game in Winnipeg, we might be having a far different conversation than the one we're having right now. But they're the two games at home before coming out here, The secret to success was having 2-0 leads in each of those games. And you get out to a lead, and Calgary in particular is really down against that. When the opponent scores first, they are 9, 18, and 10. So the Predators can get on the board first tonight. I'm not saying pop the champagne corks, but at least get the popcorn ready.
There you have it, Pete Weber on the Real Property Solutions Hotline here on Main Street Sports today. Pete, as always, a pleasure and never fails. We have a good time when you're here on the show.
Thank you very much, and all praise to Southern Alberta Wi-Fi.
Thank goodness that they've upgraded from the dial-up. No, I'm kidding, but we appreciate it. We look forward to talking to you again soon, Pete.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Pete.
Wade, when I think of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, you know what I think about, right?
No, hit me.
Doesn't everybody?
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
You talking about the Hitman?
The Hitman, Bret Hart. Your shirt, and then
I didn't
Calgary,
know. I didn't know we were ready to go there
I
just
was,
yet. But okay,
I'm here. I need some. I need some of those sunglasses. That was like my dude. When I would go, my grandparents owned a sporting goods store. And it was right next to an eye doctor clinic, and I would go next door and get those glasses that they had for the old people who got their eyes dilated, and pretend I was Bret Hart.
You have a picture of that? You have a picture of that, don't you? There, Chris?
Oh, I'm sure there's one somewhere, man.
I can't remember.
That was my thing, dude. All I ever wanted in life was a pair of Bret Hart sunglasses.
Low bar.
Could you imagine? Yeah, you're one of the kids in the front row that he gives those to back
Oh
in the
my
day.
goodness, that would be so cool. Yeah. Anyway, it's always fun. We're gonna take a quick break, very quick, Justin. And when we come back, baseball chatter. Got a video that I want to play for you guys, and it's phenomenal. So stick around on Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. Back after this.
Attention Tennessee homeowners, we want to buy your house. Hi, we are Real Property Solutions, a local real estate investing group. We pay cash for all types of property, so you walk away with more money in your pocket because we eliminate any fees, closing costs, and commissions. Now the best part, we can buy your house as is, meaning you don't have to do a thing to your property. You get to take what you want, leave what you don't, and don't even worry about cleaning. We close on your timeline, whether that's 7 days or 70 days. Interested in selling? Just give us a call and we'll come out to your property and quote you a cash offer within 24 hours. Please call 615-527-8750. That's 615-527-8750.
Hello, friends. A beautiful Saturday afternoon in Comstock Park. This is inning number 7. Still in the front 9, if you will. Eric Pinales hails from San Cristobal. It's about 30 kilometers from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Right now looking at a pitch from about 60 feet, 6 inches. No idea how that one stayed out.
I struggled a lot in 2022 with his control.
A fine hit, deep to left center. Off the wall. Lucas Dunn into second base. Exquisite. A 1-out double here in the 7th.
An excellent approach to that hit. Patient, able to line it up, deposit it into left center field.
Got it into the short grass out there. Aren't you happy that doesn't sound like that every single day?
Oh man, you can't tell me that's not just fantastic stuff.
The payoff was worth the build-up because
Wasn't
Fantz
it?
had an excellent hit right into the short grass.
The short grass.
It was a little slow at first, but then when he hit it, he goes, fine hit.
Exquisite.
He pulls into second. Exquisite.
Oh man, when I saw it, I thought this is fantastic. These guys are gonna love that. No, I thought it was well done. I think you should call tonight's game the same way at Giles County at Sam Davis Park.
I was just getting ready to say, I don't think that I'll be pulling the Masters
No? Okay.
background music out at Sam Davis tonight, but never know. I guess that could be a little bit of a tease for our broadcast tonight, Giles County and Summertown.
Here at Sam Davis Park, where Summertown is here against Giles County. Welcome to Pulaski. This is Pulaski Citizen Live.
It's kind of got a little bit of a ring to it. I kind of like that.
Oh man, that's so great. This needs to be the new intro for you.
Wear the green jacket and everything.
That would have been great. I wish I had that idea last Friday. Giles and Richland, they're obviously bitter rivals here in the county. We would have actually been on during the play of the Masters, but man, that was a great clip. That was not the clip I thought you were going to show. I thought we were going to get some footage of the game that Chris and I were talking about over the weekend. There was a no-hitter thrown in minor league baseball, Mr. Yow, as you're aware.
There was, in fact, a no-hitter thrown, although unfortunately for Ben Joyce, former Tennessee Vol, didn't quite go the way he expected in that combined no-hitter for the Rocket City Trash Pandas, as they gave up 7 runs in 1 inning despite not giving up a hit and fell to the Chattanooga Lookouts. And embarrassing fashion. I mean, everybody was talking about it on Saturday, and that's got to be rough, right?
Yeah, when you go viral into minor leagues, it's either extremely in your favor or it is horribly against you. And unfortunately for Rocket City, that was tough. And I've had so much fun explaining the concept to people who don't follow baseball that closely this weekend, that you can throw a no-hitter and still lose the game, which it's obviously has happened several times, but very rarely. As
there's the play right there. This is the play
one that turned it all.
Yep.
Whoops.
I mean, that was out number 3. That was the end of it. Deep. Had every opportunity to end the inning, get out of it. Nope. He drops the ball in center field. 3-run score. And Chattanooga takes the lead and never relinquishes. What a crazy game. I couldn't believe it. Here's the thing. They played a double header. Now, so understand that was a 7-inning game, I think, because they played a double header and threw a 1-hitter in the other game.
Oh, wow.
They gave up 1 hit in 2 games.
And just only the split. That is.
And only the split. That's brutal.
That's tough. That's the most runs I've ever seen. And like I said, I've enjoyed explaining to non-baseball fans that you could throw the no-hitter and still lose, but I've never seen 7 runs come across like that. That top of the last half inning there box score was a thing of beauty, unless you're a Rocket City or Mr. Joyce fan.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't. Joyce didn't give up. I think he gave up 2 earned runs in that, despite taking the loss, because it was the error on the center fielder that scored the runs that took the lead, and then his successor, last name Torres, came in, saw 6 batters and hit 4 of them. So that's ridiculous.
I mean, he's probably not getting called up anytime soon, I would imagine.
Well, so it was rainy, like really bad. So the ball was a little damp, I'm sure. It just wasn't a great day for baseball in general. So anyway, that was nuts for sure. Obviously, the Braves and Astros had rough weekends. They've got to bounce back. Braves are, again, at home tonight. They welcome the Cincinnati Red Stockings to Truist, and the Astros, I think, may be on the road. They're on the road at Pittsburgh. So,
and they get ready next weekend, not this coming weekend, but the weekend of the 21st. They'll be down in Hotlanta.
That'll be a
so
fun
buckle
one.
up. That'll be a little unrest amongst all of us on this fine show here.
I get a little awkward, no?
Yeah, maybe not. Bryce Elder going for the Braves against Graham Ashcraft. Elder, obviously, still taking up some time for the Braves. It's Valdez for your Astros tonight, same as it was last Tuesday when you were on the show with us. So there you go.
Time is a flat circle, my friend.
It really is. It really is. Hopefully they can figure it out. But we have figured it out. We figured out that it's time to say goodbye, so long, farewell, sayonara, Wade, and plenty to talk about tomorrow. We'll have Chip Walters, who knows this guy right here, Rick Insel, who is so eloquently standing behind me on my wall. Looking forward to that. Should be a lot of fun as we continue Main Street Sports Today with Wade Neely and myself all week long. Looking forward to it, Wade.
Yeah, I can't wait. Great stuff today. Obviously, anytime you get to chat with Pete and Charles, it's a fantastic day. And recapping the weekend with you is fantastic. Look forward to a good one tomorrow, my friend.
All right. We will say goodbye. Have a great day here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint from the Lee Company studio. Have a good one.